next speaker certainly needs no introduction. He's worked tirelessly for decades to improve the safety and overall quality of aviation in our country. And in particular, he has succeeded in addressing the unique needs here in the great state of Alaska, where we depend on aviation as a lifeline to our communities. He's a decorated aviator and has taken a personal interest in the FAA employees we're here to honor today. Senator Ted Stevens.
Thank you all very much. I'm delighted to be here on your 50th anniversary and to see so many old friends, and Bob and Michael and Bobby and George Canitas here from the Denali Commission, so many of you. I'm proud to see so many people here in uniform who work so closely with the FAA. I was just sitting over there looking at, I had a stack of cards about that thick. I left most of them on the table, so relax. But, I was saying about the time that I brought Senator Howard Cannon, who was chairman of the Commerce Committee, up here, and we were thinking about eliminating the CAB. And I took him around the state, and I did that so he could just see how we lived. And told him at the time, you know, 70% of our cities and villages can be reached only by air. We have been denied roads and probably never will get roads like other parts of the country. So we depend on aviation. And I said, all right, if you want to do away with the CAB, I'll help you from our side. He was a Democrat or Republican. I'll help you. But we've got to do something different for Alaska. So we created the Essential Air Service. Essential Air Service to help subsidize the delivery of goods by air to every place that's had service mandated under the CAB. And that now has grown. It has led to things like bypass mail that some of you from villages understand. And it has led to a whole new regime, really, in terms of aviation. And as we've gone through this, we've been the pioneers. We pioneered ADSB. We pioneered Capstone. I remember flying over to Bethel when Christmas Eve in the first plane that had a modified capstone in a King Air. When you look at it, we've experimented because aviation is our life. If you don't like to fly, you don't belong in Alaska. You have to fly in Alaska, as a matter of fact. But when we look at what we've done now, you have to think about it. You know, rural airport landings, the lighting. I remember when I showed the figure to some of our people in the Appropriations Committee, how many airports there were in the Arctic that didn't have lights. And yet we were developing the concept of emergency evacuation by aircraft. I said, well, what does it do to have an airport if you can't land in an area where it's dark so much of the year? We have come through a whole period now of developing our state weather cameras, terrain mapping, and I think the finest thing I've ever seen is Capstone. I don't know about the rest of you, but I think that what we did in improving Capstone, and it's going nationwide, I believe it'll go worldwide, it came because of the needs here in Alaska. So you here in the FAA have been part of that. You've been part of the efforts to save lives, to assure safety. If there's anything that you ought to put on your wall, it says, I work for the FAA, I save lives. Because it's only through safety and safety concepts that we have eliminated the number of people who die in the state. Just 10 years ago, I don't know if you know, 1 out of 10 pilots died every year. And through Capstone, through Medallion, through the programs that we have really brought into effect here, and now they're going throughout the rest of the country. The FAA has shown that it can adopt and it will adapt the safety procedures that are necessary to assure aviation safety. Even the modification that is available now to pilots who make a mistake, if they admit it and come in and record it, there's a forgiveness for that incident because we learn from accidents. Now that too shows really that the FAA is not rigid. It's adaptable to the circumstances, and it has kept us alive. I've probably traveled now by air more than any senator in history, and I've flown all my life, as a matter of fact, from World War II to now. I really think that those of us who've seen the aviation industry evolve as it has know that it would not have happened but for people dedicated in the federal government to assuring the coordination of the system, assuring that it be built out, be maintained, that there be safety in every type of consideration, not just for the pilots, not just for the planes, but for the passengers, for everyone concerned with aviation. The FAA is the watchdog of safety. So I honor your 50th anniversary. You've done a damn good job. Thank you very much.